Anna, waking up to the strong smell of blood invading her nostrils, opens her eyes as her blurred vision focuses on the ceiling. The room was silent apart from her heavy breathing. As her breathing begins to calm, she notices the beep beep sound you often hear in hospitals that indicates you're alive has gone silent. Am I dead? She wonders. Where is the bright light so many mention in the near-death experiences I've heard about? After all, the last thing she remembers were all the medical tests and IVs sticking out of her arms and the dull taste of medicine on her tongue. Where's my family? My mom? My dad? They've always been by my bedside. She thinks to herself, why is the ceiling so dark and strange looking? I don't remember any of the ceilings in this hospital looking this way. Anna attempts to move her head so she can get a better look at this unfamiliar, gloomy, dark room. Instantly, her heart begins to race as she realizes she can't move her head, arms, legs, or control any of the muscles in her body other than her eyes. She slowly opens and closes her eyes, squinting in an attempt to sharpen the blurred ceiling above her. She begins to panic, her breathing becomes heavy, and tears roll down her face as she starts to sense a presence in the room with her. She tries to speak, but only a moaning sound escapes her throat. She tries to move, but all she can do is look at the strange, unfamiliar ceiling as she senses someone or something standing directly over her. She closes her eyes and tells herself it's just a dream, when out of nowhere she feels cold hands wrap around her neck and squeeze. Still unable to move or scream, she can feel the muscles in her face begin to tense up as the mysterious cold hands tighten their grip around her neck. She begins to struggle for air. Just as she begins to lose consciousness, the cold hands release their grip and she begins to cough. Unable to move, she begins to feel the same cold hands wrap around her wrist. At the same time, she feels another set of hands take hold of her feet. Suddenly, she begins to feel a sharp pain in both soles on her feet as she feels something break through the skin and enter through the bottom of her feet. Anna can feel it as something that feels like a long metal bar is shoved through her feet, ankles, calves, all the way up to her thighs. Unable to speak or move, all she can do is wish for death as the agonizing pain makes her scream on the inside. Anna's mind races as she tries to make sense of what is happening to her. This is definitely not the hospital. Where am I? She wonders. What did I do to deserve this? Could it be? Then she stops herself, then asks herself, is this hell? She wonders, as the pain and steady stream of tears roll down her face, dampening the back of her head. What did I ever do to deserve this? She wonders. Suddenly, the foreign metal object begins to release some type of liquid into her. She can feel a warm, thick liquid coursing through her thighs and calf all the way down to her feet. It almost feels as if so much pressure is building in her legs that they will burst any second. When suddenly she feels the long metal object retreating from her thighs, moving down inside her thighs, and then exiting through the bottom of her feet. She begins to recite the Lord's Prayer, something she hasn't thought of in years, but she remembered from Bible school as a child. She retreats to a safe, peaceful place inside her mind and says, "Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen." She feels both her hands being lifted and her wrists squeezed as she begins to feel an intense pain at the tip of all 10 of her fingers. It feels as if long rusty nails are being shoved under her fingernails, but in a tentacle, snake-like fashion. These many long rods pushed under her fingernails work their way through the insides of her fingers, traveling to her palms, wrists, arms, and all the way deep into her chest. Once again, she feels the same warm liquid. This time, it's released into her chest, stomach, and groin region. And she starts to feel this liquid travel back up to into her arms and through her hands and fingers. Then in one sudden movement, these tentacle, snake-like devices began to retreat from her chest, traveling back up through her arms and exiting out through the fingertips, which they entered. Extreme pain courses through Anna's entire body, and for the first time she lets out a loud scream. Crying uncontrollably and still being unable to move, she begins to hear the mysterious figures in the room whispering quietly to each other. As the pain starts to slowly fade and her crying subsides down to just a steady stream of tears, while still looking at the ceiling, she can tell that their whispers are the whispers of a language that she has never heard before, with sounds she's never heard, almost animal-like, but with an obvious, unexplainable, intelligent meaning behind every word. Anna passes out and begins to have a dream of herself dancing in a field. This is a strange dream, or maybe this is the reality. Convincing herself that it was all just a nightmare. Well, how did I get here? It doesn't matter, she tells herself. What matters is I am here, and I am safe and free, and I can move now of my own free will. She enjoys the warm breeze, the sunlight on her skin, and the sounds of nature, and the breeze slightly swaying the grass blades back and forth over her ankles. So liberating it is being outside, so peaceful, so calm, no pain or fear, as she takes in a deep breath of fresh air with every movement. I know why I'm here. I used to do ballet as a child, and that was the best time of my life. No worries as a child, just fun times, friends, and the confidence and imagination that whatever you dreamed was possible. Anna continues to enjoy the warm breeze and the sunlight. When the sounds of the unintelligible whispers begin to grow louder and closer to her ears, waking her up, she opens her eyes and sees some type of animal-looking eyes looking down on her. She screams, and this time has enough control over her body that she rolls off her bed. Attempting to run, she quickly falls under her own weight. Her legs, which feel like rubber bands, she drags herself towards the bottom of her bed, and seeing two animal-like legs, afraid to look again into the eyes of this creature, she begins to cry while looking at the ground and asking, "What do you want?" She begins to see the legs of several more creatures enter the room, and now they are talking amongst themselves in a language she doesn't understand. One of the creatures kneels right beside her and in a calm and quiet voice says, "Anna, it's okay." Anna, still in the fetal position, over halfway under the bed and still looking at the ground, flinches as she feels one of the creature's hands on her shoulder. "What do you want?" Anna says. "Can you please let me go? Please," she cries. "I have to explain some things to you first. Everything is going to be okay. Can you please look at me?" the creature says. Anna, still looking at the ground, asks, "What did you do to me? That really hurt. I don't think I can walk." "Well, Anna, that is one of the things I would like to talk to you about. Please, do you have a phone I can just use instead? I just want to go home," says Anna. The creature replies, "Anna, you died a long time ago, and that pain you felt was us bringing you back." "Well then prove it, and just let me go home. I'll come back later," Anna says. "Anna, your home doesn't exist anymore. You were dead for a very, very long time. You will not feel any more pain, I promise you. And I can prove everything to you if you let me." Feeling less scared now, Anna lifts her head and looks at this woman who appears deformed or not fully human. "Everything is going to be okay," the creature says. "I will explain everything and show you everything you want to know. I will take you anywhere you want to go." The woman creature sticks out her hand, and Anna obliges and grabs her hand.